Hello and welcome to Crit Happens, a show where a bunch of 20-year-old children come together to play Dungeons & Dragons. Once again, my name is TJ and I'll be serving as our Dungeon Master for whatever chaos this week brings. You may notice that we do not have video tonight, which is due to our computer presenting us with technical difficulties. However, this also allows us to upload to other platforms, so check the description for all of our socials. Now it is my pleasure to welcome everyone back to our master. Last time we began as the party stepped out of the traveling tankard tavern. Find a group of bandits raiding their cart without long shipment for his end. In the battle with the party's new friend Vulcan, the bandits broke open one of the crates of goods. After slaughtering the final bandit, all regrouped as Rauva looked into the broken container, finding only empty parchment. As you all opened the remaining crates, you found rocks, hay, and more paper, as well as a letter addressed to King Yrlakk Lund. All continued towards Dazant, and after getting stopped by the military outpost at Fusset, posing Vulcan as your entertainer, he travels with your group to go to children's birthday parties. He shakes his head really quickly and uses that momentum to reload bullets in his revolvers. True showman for 9-year-old girls. Also learned that the old tavern where most of you met and burned to the ground by Hasatan's armies, and that the Leonin Guard, General Stoneclaw, had been permanently relocated to Fort South. From there, the party continued to the Underdark entrance, spending time getting to know one another. On arrival, you all made way to the Purple Palace. In your carts outside of the gates, Rauva and Farron locked arms as you all approached the grand doors. You're greeted by a wide assortment of people, as well as a dark purple drow with thick threads flowing down his back. He greeted you with, "Welcome." This is where we pick up tonight. As you all enter, the doors are open, and this man is standing before you with his sort of like gold chains and his purple robes that have this like gold fur on them, or not gold, sorry, silver fur at the top. His dreads are put back sort of in a ponytail and they run down his back to about the middle. He is definitely a Dilf. Leaning towards Gilf, even, honestly. He's an older looking drow. And then behind you all, there's an assortment of people, many of which you know, between some old friends and some old strangers. The rest of you have not been here before. Can I get everyone to make a perception check? Say probably already been here.
Please look at me.
Oh, nice. Go with Wulf. 3. Vulcans.
What was it? Perception?
Yep.
21.
20. Lily. 22. Chuck.
22.
Nice. 22. And Yrlakk took okay.
1.
Natural 1. All right. So the rest of you, Yrlakk, it's dark down here. And although I'm pretty sure you have dark vision, your eyes just hurt. It's pain. You know, I think you didn't stare too long at one of the witchlight, out somewhere, like your eyes are burning and you just see black.
I think he's just too infatuated with how hot the king is.
Just be that. All you see is his package.
Ooh.
You're a warforged, don't forget that.
Yeah.
Greatest tips of any other warforged.
I know a thing of people packages.
So,
I did a picture of who got this thing. Actual character art, PJ Dyrr.
I'm gonna have to put that up on the screen on the YouTube channel. People see what you just sent to me.
Snoop Dogg.
It is not Snoop Dogg, but it is
Like
the Snoop Dogg of Drow. It's not Snoop, but you might say inspired.
Inspired.
So, the rest of you, save Yrlakk, you see that there is like similar to Rava's dancing lights you all have seen. There are lights that float about. Most of them are purple and silver. Some of them are shaped like jigs or like very large, like kind of cockroach-like insects. There are a few. There's like a couple of like seahorse shaped dance across the sky. Other than that, there's purple witchlight at each main post of each house, each business. The buildings, you walk through the marketplace and you can see that well, they are like a solid building. They sort of like grow in weird directions, staggered almost in their building structure. The lower levels are all obviously businesses, and as they get higher, they seem to be more along the lines of residences. Of course, outside of the main city, as you all made your way in, there's farmhouses and such that are like higher up on certain rises and others. Here at the Purple Palace is the tallest building here, almost in the dead center of the city. The palace itself is not necessarily as purple as you might think, it being called the Purple Palace. It's sort of like an off-white, like purple eggshell, sort of. And it has large pedestals and a huge staircase leading up to the door. Looking behind the king, you can see a long draped carpet is purple with silver lining, and then a gold throne at the top, as well as a few different chairs set out. You can see there's a large like buffet table against the left wall that has a variety of snacks out. None of which any of you recognize. They're not the brightest snacks you've seen. They seem to be a lot weirder in color, a lot of grays. To you, they look delicious, Rauva. But that's pretty much what this scene looks like now. The king. Right, so please, everyone, men, it's often we get visitors here. He sort of like takes a step back and looks past all of you at Farron, who's sort of in the back, like kicking the ground, looking around, not really looking up right now. Next to you. I want to lead the way in. Chuck and Lily.
Go trip. Truck's gonna trip.
The two of you walk in, and you see that there are chairs, like sort of around where the throne is at the front. Chuck, you with your 22, both of you, but this is really to you, Chuck. There are plates on the buffet area, as well as large glass, like a glass container full of water. It looks like just. So as you all make your way in, one sort of steps aside for most of you, then you and Farron trailing in the back. He puts his arms out, and without even stopping to ask, he puts his arms around both of you, pulls you in. It's never catching up, maybe not now, but good to see you both. And just sort of like nods and goes over to the buffet table. How many of you are going to get food?
I'm sitting down in one of the chairs, trying to catch grips with my eyes burning so bad.
Yeah, yeah. As you blink, all you see the package over and over.
The sunspots of the package in my closed eyes.
Roll a d20. Dalton.
To roll the
I go to the assortment of foods because I haven't had it in a while.
Okay. It's
Just bread.
a nice package.
I'm still just sitting there.
You can see now, but you don't really perceive anything because you're sitting here. You just notice the king come walking past you, and you just sort of like look at it. And he sits down, sort of like slouched over in the chair, with his arm off to one side and one leg sort of like he's man spreading, and you're just like staring into this man. Black sexuality no longer ambiguous. It's this. It's taken from you.
It's
Purely just the package.
Yeah, gender is a package. His sexuality is packaged. At the buffet, there is frog legs. There's jig like ribs, sort of. They're not really ribs, but they look like ribs. There's blue milk. There is a bunch of like underdark chocolates that you're used to seeing. Look like molded cheese. For the rest of you, this looks like gray meat, molded cheese. There looks to be you swear you see lug nuts in one space, but you know to be the carapace of baby jigs. It's a delicacy. No potato. Well, they're kind of are potatoes.
Okay.
There is what looks to be potatoes.
The worst kind of potato.
What looks to be guys potatoes, but they're like pearlescent, like silver. They're shiny.
I could see those right now.
And at the very end, you see a large like block of grass. which would be coconut cake. Really normal. It's just coconut cake. Just coconut cream.
That sounds tasty. That sounds really good right now.
Chuck gets one of everything. He gets one of everything, and then he just chug out, and he gets a glass of water.
Can I have blue milk as well?
Yes. He'll have.
The blue milk, by the way, is like baby blue. It's like blue milk.
So that's not like real blue.
Real blue.
Chuck's Kool-Aid.
Real blue.
There's blue on the screen right now for YouTube viewers. Like it is.
Just picture of milk, but it's all just blue.
Yeah, the whole picture's gonna be blue.
Like baked potatoes? Is it like
No, it's nice.
okay? I'm gonna
The skins look to be black. The inside of the potato is like a silver metallic look.
like pick one and taste it.
It's delicious. It tastes like one of the like. I've had really good potatoes before, but this one is like almost. It's not like a baked potato and a sweet potato, or a regular potato and a sweet potato had a baby. It's like sweet, not the gross yam flavor of sweet potatoes. Sweet normal potato.
I want these, so I'm just gonna take a
Okay. I'll play with them. Okay. Vulcan, what are you doing as you enter? There do look to be lug nuts.
Grace.
Point of information: you can eat, but you do not have to. You can eat and you can drink, but you don't have to.
I taste it though.
Because for Albastia, Warforged are not just robots; they're like Terminator.
They're like androids. No, the androids are.
They're altered humans. Not.
They don't have to use the map.
So what happens if they eat it?
Just gums up your ears. I'm just kidding. No, it's usually like turned around. It can still be used as fuel. You can also eat metal for fuel.
Don't eat the metal.
You don't necessarily. For our viewers, we don't play with food mechanics or drink mechanics because that's honestly just way too much. It makes the game not fun. If there were to be one, I would consider a mechanic for Warforged that they do still need to utilize some sort of fuel. And I would just say that rather than producing waste, everything you consume is turned into fuel.
Cool. Is there anyone like around here I can ask like what their preference is?
Oh, Rauva.
Anyone that's like cool though.
You are as well, correct? You said you
I'm
were playing.
playing. I'll go hit up Robin. Rauva, what do you think's the best meal here?
I'm gonna grab a frog leg.
I take that frog leg. I go back to the table. A table. I go somewhere.
Well, yeah. So right now there's just like a circle of chairs, and a throne.
I'll go sit on one of the chairs.
You're gonna sit next to Yrlakk.
I'll sit next to her.
Even though he's kind of racist a little bit.
Well, he gets the involved.
He's still just focused on the king's junk.
Yeah, the king is looking right into your eyes, and you're looking right into
I'm
his
just like-
member.
I'm just like lost in like a foot down from his actual face, or 2 feet, I guess.
Yeah, about 2 feet in his
1
eyes.
foot down. How tall do you think this man is?
Vulcan is
Say 2 foot.
Vulcan is as you walk up, you hear the king. Are you alright? You're quite concerned about my pants, and he's looking straight into his eyes, and his eyes are on his Johnson. Your friend, alright. Concerning.
No, he's like the pig of the group. It goes both ways. I'll tell you what. He's a fan.
I wasn't sure, but
He's got. He's fixed it in one package. Boy,
nice usage.
I like shake my head and snap out of it. I'm just like,
Now you see the room.
yeah,
Here you go.
like I think I've finally come to grips with this place. And
I want to grip something in this room.
I've never seen such a package that juts like that before.
in all due respect, you You've got a judge package. I mean, that is a judge for the agent.
Well, I just calmed
Yeah, relax.
Wait. Can I hear this? No. I just
you all probably walk out during the
Oh,
you.
okay.
But
Can I
they're just
make a
good
comment?
things.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
You've seen some bigger ones. Just keep eating.
You feel like you're a 7 foot tall human, so.
You want to see? Never mind, that's fine.
Really? Well. Alright. Yrlakk is tempted to look at just like, you're able to do this.
I can resist at this point. I've like snapped out of my
Yeah.
trance.
You're gonna dream about it later. As you all sit down to begin eating, this food is a lot better than it looks. You can you're welcome to go up and get some if you want, but it's a lot better than it looks. It looks scary. And you look down at Farron, who's just and Rauva, who like have plates full of stuff, just like consuming it as fast as possible. The frog leg that you take, I'm unsure what to do with it. You eat it bone and all, which is kind of a good thing because it turns you into an actual walking garbage can.
Yeah.
And you find the bone seems to be the part that has the most flavor to it.
The marrow's good.
And as you look out, everybody leaving the bones on their plates, and like there's a lot of good stuff left behind. Marrow is really like the meatiest part of the meat.
Marrow's that good. I think I'm gonna start walking around waiter style, and I'm gonna be like, "Can I take that for you?" And they're like, "Oh yes." And they're gonna offer up their plates, and I'm just gonna take the bone.
As Vulcan comes around and collects plates from all of you and collects the plate from the king, he doesn't actually take the plate; he just takes the bones from your plates.
We're just sitting here,
The king lets out a whistle. Just Mike wouldn't pick up, so I'm not even going to try. And a few servants come out and collect all the plates. The first time these servants are not Warforged, they're just normal people. Some of them look to be human, a couple seem to be drow, a couple of even dark gnomes seem to be here. Smurf Meblin, yeah. Called. Take the plates. King, if you need anything else, I can come back and help us. As you all know, that I'm familiar with Rauva, and just catch up and we'll find time. What brings you all here?
Oh, we were supposed to deliver goods to you from the king, but
You mean were?
South says we were playing a trick on, and it was supposed to be a fake gift.
Oh, the crates accidentally busted and it was just paper.
Random object.
like
Yeah.
Shambo.
Notes or anything?
Here's of it.
He stands and hands it to him. He tears it open. As general, like the food gone, and you all still sitting in your blue milks, your water. Both. Notice the king's jovial attitude having people here. Just drop a bit. And at this point, you begin to see the lines in his face that have increased since you last saw him, or long that might have been. And you all can now see that while he is still hot, he looks very like old right now. You've witnessed and experienced. His brow sort of furrows, and he right then. Unfortunate. As he cast detect magic, make it like perception check. Go over here, run around with it. 15 on your check. You do see there's a lot of magic here. There's protection spells on the throne. He's wearing a protection amulet of some kind, meaning abjuration. Ready for you to ask.
I'm mainly looking at him.
I know. Other than his normal aura from what you've seen, there's not anything on him that's new. He has a tri bubble. It vanishes after you cast attack magic as usual. With that, no peeping Tom eyes or no invisible anything you can tell at least.
Just all that I wanted to make sure that the room was clear. Trying to see.
Find this kid in the back of Yrlakk.
You can send a hand to him. What's your best?
My wait. Oh, okay. Oh, 13.
What's your passive perception?
11.
So, Vulcan, whenever Vulcan says that he's, shouldn't be, he kind of like claps his hand on your back.
I
He just pats your back, that's all.
I really reach back to see if anything's there, and then I don't feel anything.
The rest of you think you're the only one with a low passive percentage.
Yeah.
Everyone else is above 13. Including the old man. Saw the number clearly in his hand. It was like tapes. He just like.
Within the same bubble.
Yeah, it was the same bubble you guys have seen.
It's the secret.
Honestly.
Totally didn't have Dana just roll Lily to be the big bad in the end, guys.
Snitch. I knew it.
Give away my secrets.
There's Yrlakk, obviously. I suppose I should read it. Just to me. Limited resources. Got 6 crates of our garbage. Resources are for people who genuinely contribute to society, not underground garden. Join us and your opportunity is plentiful. Stay disconnected and starve. All is in your court. In Chaos.
Can't say I'm surprised after the things I've been hearing recently.
As he finishes that, Aaron stands and just sort of like walks down one of the corridors. I guess. Alright. Most of you?
I'll go with Rauva.
Oh, of those of you that are here left at this point that have not chased after my joint son, what are your experiences with any of you?
I don't have any direct experience with him. But there have been vague little things as I'm noble and I was a professor at the college in Africa.
Well, from what I've seen, kind of bad, the dishonest. I used to come from a noble family, and it's really like the king.
Warhorse.
He's the reason I've decided to partake in this vagabondry in the first place. My experiences are awful and I hate even thinking about that. I think he's the scum of the earth.
You're a good friend.
Well, he says he doesn't like his uncle that much, or his family. Atlan. I don't remember his last name.
I promise. Wait, so
I didn't even remember his last name.
yeah, like the Ta is the family. On the hall, Farron, I think about 20 feet ahead of both of you. About trailing about 10, probably feet back behind you. He stops for a moment and kind of turns into a room, and he just sort of stands and then walks into it. While walking in, make a perception check. Both.
Come on, maybe. 9.
Enough. In the 9. Well, not so much. But it's okay. In this room, there are windows that sort of look out over the main center of the city. You can almost see all the way out to where Rauva pointed out her house. You all came in. There's a bed, a desk that has papers strewn across it. The bed is not made. Just everywhere. The bed looks like it has been slept in maybe 10 years. Then on the wall, there's just cut out drawings pinned to various places. The drawer that's half open with papers hanging out of it. Then you see 2 daggers sitting at the foot of the bed on this bench seat. Theron sits down on the bed and sort of puts his head into one of his hands.
All right there, mate.
Here over your shoulder. I'm alright, it's just a long time ago. If we get out from under the dark, maybe we could actually get something done here. Do this to stay down here, and then we get sent actual garbage.
Yes, the king has his very forthcoming ways when it comes to being a complete asshole.
Shit.
Look around the room.
Yeah. No. He had another room that was younger. That you'd been in when you were younger, whenever your families were hanging around together. But sort of moved here whenever you all did a lot more hanging out at the library versus at a house. This room, anyways. You can recognize a lot of the stuff from the other room, though. Not the drawings and stuff. That's all. I can't say new because it's been 10 years since he was here. A new one. A lot of drawings of his mother put up. A couple of what looks to be you, or maybe Doug's in one. Doug has hard eyes. He's not sure exactly what we're supposed to do, and he has us here now, and he's just going to say, "Oh, bad," and we'll go back home and back out into the world, and come on, nothing changes.
Maybe this will open his eyes.
It's been worse. I mean, 2 years ago or so, there was 5 or 6 people that went up there to collect a package of things, and they were all sent back in bags.
How bad is your current situation with just everything? Because you were asking for resources and you got none. So how bad is your current situation?
That request was probably sent 25 years ago. Because I haven't been here in 10.
I'm sure his response probably wasn't even a response to your request. It was more of a threat.
I mean, Rauva would remember that there was a time in which resources might have been short and a lot of farms were dug up and forced to grow things. And now things last at least when I left were beginning to stabilize. You probably know more than I do. There's other things that probably stabilized for the most part. We found another resource elsewhere. I'm not saying there was requests coming weekly or something like that. And obviously, I wasn't even expecting him to come.
I didn't believe him in the first place. I didn't never believe what he said.
He just seems so trustworthy. He sort of looks up and chuckles a little bit. Our family.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, my family's history goes back a long ways, and none of it is bright and cheerful.
something like 700 years.
Yes. I've been around for 70 of those years, and roughly 70 of those years.
And I believe her. Nice. There's no good numbers when I hear one.
But yes, working for Athlon over the years has been interesting to say the least. As an aspiring young warlock, I was very interested in his teachings, but over time I realized that they're more just to suit his needs and the power of the king than the people and actual knowledge.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Fair. Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty clear since he's any garbage.
so my point. Right.
Smart guy.
Yeah, I love it passing. I'm okay. I'm okay.
He stands and did you go back out there and see? So he wants us to go back and put another request. He's needed there. Empty room, yes. As Rauva like looks around, like he turns back to the bed. If I left 10 years ago, didn't even make the bed. One made the bed in 10 years. It's a castle, and no one's made my bed in 10 years.
Pretty.
And these experiments.
You
I think there's a pair of underwear in the corner. That pair of underwear is 10 years dirty. I think I shouted at that pair, actually.
love it.
And he just left him on the floor.
Oh, I guess that's rot over there.
Aaron turns to, welcome to my room. This is where I used to sleep in. This is probably a nicer bed than any bed I stay in.
What those daggers doing at the foot of your bed?
Those are my training weapons from before I left. I assume my father saw me go out and I take them and carry them in my name or something, but clearly he didn't even have them in my shard pants. Why would he take the daggers?
I pick up the daggers and I wipe all the dust off of them and make them all clean. And it's always good to have a clean one.
Make an investigation check real quick as he picks them off.
I go with one of his drawings of his mom.
Just cuts the hell out of
You roll a d20.
I mean,
The one,
Let me get it.
the one that you grab is one that you can see he sketched it with like chalk pencil and then painted over it with some sort of like acrylic paint. It's very faint paint. It's probably the best painting artwork you've seen him do.
She's so pretty.
She was. I painted her and drew her more than anyone else, other than perhaps. You said 9. They're nice daggers. They kind of like got that like weird like tip up, like where it tips back towards the holder.
like a Daedric dagger.
Like a Daedric dagger, yeah. And then the handle sort of like bends out downwards with a leather binding all the way down. So, and then you see there's engraving the hilt, sword, and the top of it with the thick like dull end. What languages do you speak?
Abyssal, Common, Gith, Hazal. Is that how you pronounce that? And Undercommon.
Okay. You don't recognize the language. Even if you did, you wouldn't know what it said because you rolled so low. But I was going to tell you if you recognize it.
Oh well, I actually have that ability where I can read any.
You have Eyes of the Runekeeper, so you can read all writing.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's right.
So what it says in her memory on one of them, on the other, I fight. You don't know what language it is. You just can kind of tell what it says. You rub along and you just you notice his eyes roll back in his head black, and then they come back forward. He kind of nods and sets them back down across. Anything else you all wish to do in this room?
Make his damn bed.
As you walk over to one side and grab the curtain, or the sheet, it's just a curtain. He chuckles and walks together. I'll give you a hand then. Shake it and just.
Nice pro moment.
All of you begin coughing as you inhale 10 years of dust and Faerun skin. Because of dead Faerun skin.
Oh man.
As you finish putting it back down and fully overheat, I'm sorry. Just ask someone to clean the sheets. Oh.
Bad idea.
Should have taken a bath before. Went to bed that night. That tasted funky. So you outside as this conversation between you all outside ends, and these guys come walking out. They come walking out coated in what looks like they just like they just swallowed volcanic ash. They're just covered like soot from a chimney. Walking out. Faerun, all of them sort of dusting themselves off. Kind of walks up and sits down in the. Well, he walks behind the king's throne of the two biggest seat, and he actually pulls out another chair and sets it down next to his father and sits. It's a slightly smaller throne, but styled the same way.
He just pulled it out.
It looked like he was kind of stacked underneath the back of the other chair. It slides out from the back into the small store. And he pulls out this Matrushka throne. He's down and sort of turns over to his father. What are you going to do? Looks at all of you. Well, we've got a narc here. And gestures directly to the white sellers out to his uncle or his daddy or something.
Does kissing sign on the back, by the way.
Right, who does something on his back?
I was just wondering. No, I was just wondering.
So you got long legs, but you're not Mr. Fantastic. He looks at Rauva. What do you all say we do?
Exactly. Listen, someone who's lived alley to alley, impoverished, most of my life outside the empire. I need you to know that you're not the only one mistreated. You're the only one with the power, the only one with the influence going to be able to do anything about it. There are people who will fight with you. Like me. Give me the word, and I'll be there. Something needs to happen. This treatment is unright, and I've seen some horrible things. I keep saying.
I appreciate that, but I think that it's possible that we just sit here and talk about it. I'm ready to make a statement or start a war.
That's not allowed. That was like under my breath. Yeah. I don't want to call these. Let's say straight up.
Well, I mean, let's make a big statement, at least in your own kingdom.
I think they already know that. That's why they're here. The whole thing. We obviously had the idea for a war, and my son's quite pleased with that one as well. What of you, Empire Boy?
Listen, okay.
What about your daddy?
My daddy's actually dead, but my. If you're referring to my uncle, I'm not worried about it. But, if there's anything I can do to try to get some kind of inside information to you, like. anything else you are wanting to know about his defenses or his like sigils?
Who do you think that your uncle or the king thinks about underdog communities?
Say that again, sorry.
What do you think that your family or your people say about the people down here? What have you heard?
This is something you probably already know, but most of them pretty much only keep to themselves and only think that royalty is deserving to use magic, obviously. And pretty much only people of worth, in their opinion, are people with power and money and stuff like that.
Oh, shit. Arcana racist.
That's my family. But it's been a long time since I've wanted anything to do with the way they think about people. Why I'm offering to narc on my own. Need that inside scoop.
Always a triple agent.
What do you want to call it?
Well, you said you were noble at one point. What do you suggest? What do you think? What do your folks think?
I don't think about them. They don't agree with me, so I left years ago. I don't know. I've been alone in the temple for many years. So I don't really have a good understanding of what the outside world is doing right now. But I would say we could go complain to the king ourselves.
I'm willing to go to the king yourselves.
Oh, man, that's a lot. That's a lot. I haven't been back to the kingdom in years. I can't even remember.
Maybe someone who could give us some advice. Our year. We don't have to go too far. I fancy a tour of the Zand.
Why not?
Have any of you been here before, other than you live here?
Oh,
Been close, but never close.
Everyone
I've never been on the second
And the
one.
walls either.
get told a plate to go, and I'll get the before to gather the carriage.
Grab one of the grassy coconut pies.
It's the whole cake, so you just take a slice.
I pick cake.
Yeah, well, hold on. Craft.
I picked 2 pieces then at least.
Okay, because it's like 2 feet tall. You know those cakes that don't make sense about how they serve it? Like how are you gonna cut a slice of that cake? You're gonna cut down and over.
Yeah.
That's this tall. That's like 2 feet tall and 2 feet wide on just grass block. Like I said, it's like those weird cakes that they make at like Carlo's Bakery. We had like cut down and over, and it's like,
Yeah.
why? Yeah, it's one of those. Because at one point someone's gonna eat the middle of that cake that has no frosting.
Yeah.
I'm a no frosting type of guy, so I feel that.
Okay, sure. You disgust me.
I only eat
It
frosting.
depends. If the cake's not super dry, then yeah, I can eat some thick cake.
It's like a buttercream frosting though, so
Oh yeah.
it's nice and moist. It's like chocolate coconut.
Yeah, I'm getting 2 slices.
Chuck just takes the rest of it.
You can't. There's no way.
I haven't tried.
Can you bite into it?
You're gonna bite into this?
No, I'm gonna sleep.
You lean in to take a bite, and Theron pulls a dagger up to your throat. One of those illusory daggers.
I put Baron's head on.
No. You're in his house. If you do that, you're gonna have like 50 different mages on you in like 4 seconds.
That's true. I'm like, okay. Here's
Stand up.
That
Yeah, I know that's
No.
happen.
I'll tell you exactly what it would have been. That would have been a TPK. Every one of you that is not a dark elf would have been slaughtered.
No, I would have.
Every one of them, like 50 kobolds drop from the ceiling and just begin mimicking you.
Chuck just wanted a bite of cake.
No,
Okay. Then Chuck looks at you. It's like, neat.
As you reach out to take the bite, Farron puts one of his illusory daggers in front of you and uses the other to cut you a large slice, which he slips onto a plate and hands to you.
Can I also get everything to go? One of each.
There's styrofoam boxes at the end. Yes,
Okay.
Styrofoam is confirmed.
it was invented by Farron's grandpa.
Nice.
It's exclusive styrofoam box.
Oh, dude,
There's like my
Lungstofoam.
there's like mycelium styrofoam that's being made like in our world.
I know.
Wolf, it's like the
It is similar to that. It is like mushroom, yeah. You can eat it afterwards. So, as you all gather a plate of food, your gray meats, your blue milks, your green cakes, you go outside and see a very large open top carriage that has it's like black with gold and silver trim all along. It's got like 5 rows of leather seat. You can see that there's like a rolled up top that could be pulled over, and there's nothing pulling the cart. In fact, there's just some guy sitting behind this weird like wooden wheel. For reference, this is like a Model T but a limo,
That's
and it does have a functioning working engine. It is one of the few cars in all Bastion, and it's here. King Constantin does not have a car.
And there's the cable car in that run.
There's cable cars, but this is like a motor. Like this runs on gasoline.
Oh, you guys are making the king look like a peasant right now.
Well, I offered to sell him one for resources about 40 years ago, and he sent me 12 dead bodies. So
Can I drive it?
absolutely not. In fact, you're forced to sit in the back.
Wait.
No, no. I saw you trying to bite the king.
What?
Please,
Please.
But are you the king?
Can I be passenger seat? Right next to you.
Sure. The passenger, very bad.
Oh, damn it.
As you all walk up, the doors open like automatically almost. In each row, it has a door. It's kind of gross. It's like imagine if a centipede could open up all of its legs like doors.
Oh, why'd you have to use that analogy? Oh God, that's like the one thing that bugs me.
It bugs.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's like a centipede has doors. They all open, and there's enough seats for all of you. There's the king and Farron sit in the second row because the first row has the driver, chauffeur. Each seat can hold 3, so anybody else can sit with the king and Farron. I'm assuming Rauva wants to take that seat.
Sure.
The next row.
I'll sit in the next row.
I'll sit next to him.
Okay.
I'm told to sit all the way.
You just so you have an option. There's 2 more rows still. So we have currently Lily and Yrlakk in the third row. Technically third row.
I'll sit in the back.
You're gonna sit with Chuck,
I'll sit just behind Lily and Yrlakk.
and just in front of these 2.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So as the car is filled, it begins driving towards the marketplace, and you see a lot of people are out shopping, and children out like awing and gawking. Sorry, it's the right word, but it's just disgusting to say. At this vehicle as it drives by and kind of circles around a fountain area that has like this massive dark elf statue. It does not look like the king, but it looks similar to him. And he turns, "This is my father, Farron's grandfather."
That's statue.
Right.
I'm sorry. No, never mind.
There's a statue in his honor. He's buried underneath it.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a fountain, so.
Cool.
Right.
You guys are real connected with the earth life and
No, he was a mage, and he just liked to use water magic. And you notice now he's got like water coming out of his wrist, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
no, that's like no, I'm just kidding.
So, how'd you all meet each other? He asks as you all continue driving.
Do I hear this at all? Since I'm
Yeah, you can hear everything.
okay, I was just making sure.
Although it is an open top car, it feels like you're talking in like my Suburban.
Okay.
So the sound carries, but doesn't seem to like escape the vehicle.
Okay. I want a new friend, so I found them.
Fair enough. Is that
My uncle made me watch over the group to make sure they got their task was completed.
you hear him faintly whisper, he really is an arc, isn't he? Anyway, come back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's only been here like 2 weeks. Yeah, I met up with the group whenever I went to a tavern, and Rauva hugged me and pulled me down into the basement and said, "Just trust me."
It was Rauva. Theron looks back at him. Yeah, right. And Warforged, were you? How did they purchase you from like the king or something?
Nah, I mean, I left the kingdom a long, long time ago, but Rauva came up to me being nosy as all hell. And,
Oh, that tracks, yeah.
you know, they're just a ragtag group of people, and I had nowhere else to go, so I helped them kill some bandits, and here we are.
And the short one.
Uh, I was looking for some people who are like-minded in their hatred for the king's atrocities.
Um,
While we're out, can we go see Ulfric?
well, that's part of the perhaps.
I need to talk to him about something. I don't know what's but something important.
Well, it's yeah, sure. I mean, we can stop by. He's an odd one, but sure. Anyways, so this, and as you all look now, you don't have to make a perception check because you're on a tour. Yeah, imagine you had to roll a perception check when you're oh god, I can't see. Yeah. There's another package. Imagine if like IRL, you're like riding a tour bus around like DC, going to get a perception check every time they're describing something. It's like
That is a terrible experience. I've done it.
it's terrifying. Yeah.
It's really bad. And yeah, it's really scary.
Oh,
Especially parallel park.
I think that there's a decent. Well, it's simple. This is our sort of impoverished community, and as you all look out, you see a lot more like shanty type housing, housing that has people of various races, whether it be like there's sort of Neblin, there's dark elves, there's dark dwarves that are all gathered in the same places here. You see that they sort of go from house to house, like a lot like the Romani do, and so it's very interesting. They don't seem to be like sad necessarily or anything, but you can see their clothes are ragged. Their crops are like small right outside of their homes. Um, like three houses have like the same like electric wires connected to one pole. It all like ties into each other like, with very shoddy electricity work or electricians work, connecting up to poles and stuff. And a lot of the light here is fire. The road has turned from the cobblestone before to like just raggedy, like Portalis. It's like potholes everywhere, dirt roads, and sort of like winds up into the mountainside and comes back down towards like the back of the city where you all entered. It's not that it's not beautiful; it's just very impoverished and very clear. And the king goes on. The issue here a lot of the time is that while there is work to be done, and most of these people have jobs, there's not always a resource to properly pay for those jobs. So a lot of the time, we hire people from these areas to come and servants to the Purple Palace, as it gets them out of these areas and they get to lodge with us. Usually, we take them on for 5 or 6 years so they can make a solid pay and then buy a house in the city. But as we do that, more and more people get to the rate of impoverished and have to come move out here. Sort of a circle that's happened for the last 200 or 300 years. My father passed about 450 years ago, and so while I am a light king, a lot of this is blamed on me, but it's simply the Xanth has existed for 700 years, and we're running out of the opportunity to just make things happen the way we used to. So, the resources we do require would be for these people more than anything to build them proper housing, feed their children, cure their sick, so on. So you all are free to make any comments or thought if you'd like. The music has stopped. I just noticed.
I actually did not know this. I just think that it's terrible that people like my uncle and the king have enough money to power hundreds and thousands of large cities, but places like this still exist.
As you all, it is sad. There was before I became king. I had my time above ground. He watches favorites and like quickly jerks his head towards him, surprised. And when I was there, um, Facet was like this place. Ethron was similar to Zan. Uh, Zan was almost exclusively these red homes. A lot of the people here In fact, as we kind of come up this hill here, you see that the dynamic sort of changes, or not dynamic, but the racial makeup changes. The dark community to high elves, wood elves, and humans. A lot of these people are they're rejected from the Empire. They're told either to leave the Empire and never return, or killed by his guard. Usually, these are the people that step up first to go and try to get resources because they're the ones that will be let in. And then usually the people that come back dead. Most of them have children too young and come here with 2 or 3 small ones at young ages themselves. Have to adapt to the illnesses and diseases that come around the Underdark. Like the 3 of us are built to it.
We're cruising through in the centipede model.
So the people
I throw pastries up the window.
Candy.
patronizing.
Yeah.
Throw them at them, just be
I
like,
know.
just be classic.
You can take them. Most part. So then like mud puddles and he explained, and you know, as you say that, he's like, right, it does feel wrong to drive through these areas, but doing this reminds that I'm still trying. We're still trying to make this happen. I paid nothing for this power. The entire community knows that. It was built by someone and given to me. From these areas that has come up the ranks and is not our lead scientist here. Anyways, so this sort of sad region. Yeah, you turn around and now enter more farmlands. And the families are similar, but not so. You know,
They're living on the farm. They're living the life.
yeah, they're living the life, but not.
Life.
There's still some concerning, sights for sure, but it's nothing too terrible. So, do you all have any questions about the Underdark while we continue towards our only real destination?
You keeping all these people who left Dominion, do you think that the king's gonna go after you?
Well, I mean, he just sent me the horse head.
Didn't say in his last speech that if there was anyone that left the Empire, he's gonna go after them.
Is there any way for him to trace them back to here?
Well,
Considering you are the ones that volunteer first to go get resources.
unless he's got eyes on all of you, I don't know that he would know they're here.
Are there eyes on me, by the way?
Last, if there was a check, the only one who would know would be Rauva and
Do it again because it's trophy.
maybe Sish. Currently, there are not eyes on Yrlakk.
Look at her.
There are not eyes on Lily. Or eyes on Chuck.
What are they?
They look to be the same that were once on Lily.
Yeah.
Friends.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I thought.
Man, Oblon's pretty stupid to not have eyes.
Or he's overly confident.
Or you're snitching.
We're all of us, honestly.
Yeah, or you are Atlan.
Oh my god. That's like an M. Night
Nice.
Back and like look at everyone. I'm like, you don't have one. You don't have one. But he now has yours.
It did do the same as it always does. It fades right after you notice it.
Unknown.
That gives me the heebie-jeebies.
And mine always just small talk. You know,
See, talking about this lack of resources. I just can be done to reconnect some lines? I mean, help get this place up and running.
I mean, the issue is we live in. I don't really have lumber on here. We also don't really have space to build communities necessary. In this region of the city alone, roughly 4,000 people living. This is, or not this, but the previous one. That's, although it's our most impoverished, out of the farmlands, most of those houses have issues and can be rebuilt. It should be rebuilt soon. It adds another 8,000 homes that need to be done. And then the city itself, as you've seen, is a bit makeshift. So in reality, you probably have close to 15,000 displaced. You do have homes.
Just get like terrain question. So are we like on the inside of a mountain?
You are on the inside of a mountain.
Like in a cave? Yep. And what's on like the outside? Is that like a desert mountain?
It's a snow mountain.
Snow mountain.
It's the tallest mountain in Albastia, Vergast region. There's not like snow necessarily immediately at the foot of the mountain, but maybe a mile up it turns to snow. There's a bit of plain and a little bit of forest outside that could potentially be utilized, but none of you are familiar enough with maybe being rangers or druids. Familiar enough with wood or quality of wood, know what would make for good underdark housing. That's an idea, but none of you know how logistically really.
Well, considering you are living inside of a mountain, consider hiring, like, I don't know, a mason?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a few come in here. They were the ones that did the work on the actual city itself.
I can expect them to be pretty expensive.
We have a few that live here. And they do some good work. Like I said, the issue is that we don't have the space. Of that 15,000, we need at least 8,000 will not live above ground because of this situation from the Empire.
You thought about digging further into it?
We have a team that goes in. There are rampant kobold cats. Can do a little damage. We have a few kobolds that live here. There's no disrespect to them as people, but a lot of them are very cruel and very territorial. And we actually are about a mile from probably one of the largest camps. When I first went in there when I was young, the camp had about 2,500 kobolds. We've increased by at least 3 times. That's a global.
The numbers are there for them.
They never knew most kobolds really can. Iconic ancestry is very new to them. All of us come from a race that at one point was probably feral. Right? Why see the teeth like the biggest example of a feral race in Albastia, for those of you that are unaware, including our viewers, biggest feral race that is invasive to Albastia is the Tiefling. It's not natural here. They came from the Nine Hells and slaughtered the orcs in Viridia.
Nice.
They escaped, slaughtered their orcs. Yeah. Many of them escaped from Viridia and came to Twinarfeg or Indestrol and started lives non-feral. There are still a lot of feral tieflings out there that their prime intention is to take over.
Not feral. Sometimes.
I mean, you're thinking so. I can't see you like slaughtering or clan or anything or eating their throats.
Like you stabbed one of us while we're sleeping. It scares me sometimes.
So then I open then.
Or I got Charles to take care of me at night anyway.
But like I said, about 15,000 needing homes, 8,000 of which will not sleep above ground. Massive kobold camp that we really can't take out. The only lines we could wire would be to try to build a relationship with those kobolds if they were ever open to have a conversation. I do speak Draconic, and I've spoken to a few of them, but never take us to their leader. Mostly because their leader only lives for 23 days at a time.
Can they get a new leader?
They change a lot. They all think they're the leader as well at other times.
No wonder they're feral.
I suspect that it is either a dragonborn or a lizard folk down there that's actually running the show, or maybe a dragon itself. I'm not. There was one group that I tried to send in there, and then things kind of got a little dicey for the group. So.
Kind of want to go.
If you would like to investigate it at some point, I'd be happy to give you materials. Obviously, by the way, while you're here, please stay in the palace. I've got rooms for all of you. You're welcome to stay in Faron's room if you want, because I know you all are close. And he does have a spare bed, but I assume, and I'm also rooms. I still want to stay with your family. Somebody was plotting something. He wasn't. I just out of rooms, and I know you, so I'm not going to give you the accommodations your guests are going to have. Sorry. Very bloodline then. About that. Anyways, as you all continue trekking along, and you now leave the city proper and out of the farmlands into the suburb kind of farm stuff, making your way back up. The carriage comes to a stop outside of this house, and it is raised up a bit. Has sort of like a driveway even. And I okay, let's be honest. I imagine this house is a traditional townhome. I don't know why. I picture like a normal house with like a garage and like a porch and all that.
Nice.
Just made of stone. There is outside of the house there on the driveway, sort of. The garage is open. You can see inside. There's racks of random things, weapons. Most of it seems to be like weapon or work. And you can see the doors open. Beyond that, you see like a kitchen area. But outside, there's this. I forget the word. It's like a grindstone. One of the rolling grindstones, like in Skyrim.
Nice.
That is not rolling, but you can see steaming as it was just recently doing some kind of work. You know. The doors open. Of course. And you can see that the king sort of steps out and stretches a bit. Welcome. I'll be coming up and introduce you to my friend. Then I'll go off for a bit and I'll come back and pick you up in a while. So, and he walks up to the main front door, not the garage. Knocks on it 3 times, just like that. Once past, the door cracks open. What is it? Sorry. In the king, right? The guests. Oh, there's a bit of whispered conversation that none of you can hear. All right, so have fun, everyone. And as the door opens, you watch this plump human lean out. He's got a red eye and a metal arm on this side, coming out of like this like circular like implant. He's a pale white human with a long gray like mane and beard.
He's relevant.
It's scraggly. And then his other eye, I believe, is blue or brown. I think it's blue. He's got a red it's not an actual eye. It's like an eye socket with red light. Almost like the eyes you have on your friend Vulcan here. Except rather than being magenta, it is red.
So he's like actual like cyborg.
He looks to be.
Looks.
But the rest of him is human.
Gotcha.
Other than the eye on the arm. King. This here is Ulfric Volbrad. Ulfric, he's wearing this like green shirt and this like brown patched up vest and patchy sweatpants. Hello there, everyone. Please, take tea or something. Yeah, come on in. He gestures the door open. Are any of you not going to enter? It's about, I'd say, it's right around, I'd say, 7 p.m. You all, had your lunch and then sort of like dinner. But it's tea time. I'd say 6:37 though. Everybody enters the building, the house, the king. Can everyone please have a phenomenal visit? Be back in for 2 hours or so. Nods, like shifty eyed. Can I get everyone just to make a general perception check as you enter this house? None of you have been in. Wolf,
25.
already. Vulcan,
20. Not natural.
Lily,
7.
nice.
Hey,
All right, and Yrlakk,
Natural 20.
Wow.
2021.
Nice, and then Rauva.
3.
Cool. The two of you don't say much of anything. Well, the three of you actually, 'cause you rolled low too, didn't you? Oh, you said 20.
Oh, yeah, I got
The two of you are very focused on how attractive this plump man is. Just kidding. You do notice he has like some cheese in his beard, though. That's a little bit off-putting.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just gonna see it. Gonna see it, and then Chuck's just like,
Yeah, you pull it off. It looks like cheese. Smells like cheese.
oh, I just smell it. I'm like, here you go, friend.
You just flick it.
Yeah, just flick it the other way. It's like, just making sure you're clean, friend.
When you-
so genuinely worried that Chuck was gonna eat
You
it.
flick it. You watch the metallic arm reach out and grab it. It's like you don't see the arm move. You watch it grab it. And he's like, "Oh." He puts it in his mouth and eats it.
No, I was saving that for later.
How much did that arm cost you?
Nothing. I made it myself.
Can I have a spare one?
Absolutely not.
Aw.
And he watches. He like puts the arm out and like sucks it into his body and walks without an arm for a bit. Comes in inside this house. Inside this house, for those of you except for Lily and Chuck, you notice he's got no paintings or pictures or art or anything to tell anything about this man's life. It is the most barren house. You all notice this, except for you two. There is a couch. It's covered in plastic. A rocking chair that is very worn, and then like a bookshelf. No books on it.
How much of a decorator are
Oh, not one for sentimental bullshit. He sits in the rocking chair. Throw the plastic off. You can sit on the couch, please. Oh, geez, sorry. And he stands and sends the arm shooting back out and walks back into the kitchen area. And you hear clattering. All of you are left in the living room alone for a bit. Talk amongst yourselves if you wish. As you all sit down on this couch, there are only 3 seats, so who's rushing to the couch first? That's getting a seat on the couch.
you stand?
You guys stand. You can also sit on the floor.
You laid down.
No, I'm chilling.
Anyone's gonna do the same.
You lay down. I'll take a seat.
You get the couch seat. There's one more.
I will stay in the chairs.
All right.
Not even gonna give the man a seat in his own house.
He has his own chair.
Another run.
Besides, if he asks, like, Chuck can just say, "Oh, my kingdoms."
It doesn't matter. He's sitting down in his rocking chair, so
Oh,
I'll try to use this.
for my foot wrists.
first of all, you're 175 pounds and 7 feet tall. You don't have cankles. You have wankles.
All right, all right.
Opposite of a cankle.
Fine. He'll say, "Oh, my wankles hurt." That does not sound right. Never mind.
I think it sounds right. He sort of, and so the two of you are going to stand for 2 hours. Weird. Like that. You, to those of you that stand, friends, you don't have to be crisscross there. Like, just call me favorite. Oh, all right. Well, welcome to my abode, my humble adobe. I am, I'm Zelfric. I'm familiar with Rauva. Yes, you have my eye.
Showed everyone
How do you feel about that?
comfortable. No, that's what I'm saying.
And I know Theron because he lives down here. He's sort of my boss, I guess, or whatever. The rest of you, your names.
Yrlakk. All of us.
What's his name?
More way.
You don't recall a few seconds ago, and you went, "Shit,
What are you talking about?
I'm really gonna press it. It's necessary.
What are you talking about?
Million.
Have you ever seen that one?
No,
Remember you watched like
I'm not Phantom Alien. The Melly.
Million.
The melody.
one here has ever seen like Parks and Rec or anything like?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's weird. I don't like it. Hold on, sorry. Is he actually a vegetarian like IRL?
No. I was gonna say that would be kind of ironic.
Yeah. Actually, a gay. He's like, I wake up every morning, stretch out my legs and yoga. What's
I
yeah,
now-
yoga mat in front of my Ford F-150?
And now do not like me.
Ford jet. Oh, gosh. Anyway, I was like, this sidetrack. Now you there, huh?
A guy named Bobby Cohen. Okay, he died. He was brutally murdered by a guard in the temple, and he told me to come to you.
Spoken since then. Ew. After he says that, this is when the rest of me like, he looks a little crazy. His hair's all wiry and like matted.
Kind of sounds like Cyborg or Dr. Brown.
Yeah, the cheese in the beard kind of was that indication
All
that he ate.
right. English game's interesting. Never seen a Warforged that wasn't, frankly, somebody else's niche. I get it. You also you got childbearing hips.
Thank you. Born and raised with those bad boys, but the skin is well, I've got friends who help get it.
Thank you. Put this finger into his empty eye socket.
Is that a custom model? I mean, I've never seen.
Friends then point into the eye as though indicating friends to this nod to this.
I mean, your arm is the most fantastic automated work I've ever seen.
I don't know why I did your voice. I just did your voice twice, and I don't know why. I'm like, yeah, I did it myself, you know. Right? I mean, yes, everything is custom myself. I had some time to sit and think. And
Well, some
his arm has no screws in it.
incredible. I'll tell you guys. I know you guys don't really know because you guys are fleshies, but that is incredible. And I know there's some weird stuff, magic and magnets.
And this is
Fucking magnets, how do they work? You know what I'm saying? And
well, this is not magic at all. This is magical, no arcane, no screws. There are a few magnets.
you and me, we're gonna need a talk sometime, maybe when I have a full.
But if you're looking for an upgrade, I could definitely build you.
I would love that.
You make your body a little bit more proportionate with your hips.
And that'd be awesome. I mean, I feel sometimes I feel like a little skinny boy with the down.
I do prefer women generally. I have to walk behind you with my arms around your waist and ask you to dance.
Personally,
You are thick as hell.
kind of like I don't got any problem with that.
The voice, honestly, the voice really sort of turns me on.
I
You
appreciate
did
this.
say prefer, but it's not exclusive.
This is one of two voices I have. I mean, I have another personality that
Wait,
it's like a technical error in my coding. When I escape, I got a little hurt, and sometimes but usually not unless I get roughed up.
so now they post the shit out of you, you might speak another accent or something.
Well, it'd be more like a different person.
Oh, right. So that was
Same memories, but just kind of like a different act.
all right. All right.
You don't punch the shit out of me.
I'm not going to do that.
Until you can. I'm no harm, no foul, but
That'd be.
I'm curious.
I'm pretty sure that's
Before we all unleash on our beautiful friend here. Gorgeous hips. You, quiet one, standing in the back with a warhammer or a war axe on your back.
I'm Wulf. Stonehammer.
Thank you. Where are you from?
That's wrong. Originally, I guess technically now from Senra since it's this whole thing.
I know, Rauva, fair enough. He tells me you're all down here with a phenomenal shipment of shit from the king.
oh the shit, man. Warning.
Evil and funny.
Well, good news didn't exactly make it here. Just a letter.
Well, I wanted to start with telling you a little bit about myself. Ulfric, Volglord. I was an adventurer back in the day. Whole party of individuals. I'll get into detail about them shortly. Uh, well, I spent a lot of time with the king and with people who certainly serve him to an extent. Um, and well, I'll just go ahead and get started, I suppose. Was born an orphan to a noble family, but served prior to Outland's acceptance to the full committee. I was just a boy at the time, and then the king had my parents killed, and I was sent to an orphanage. No clue what their names were, what mine was. I've forgotten them completely now, except for the fact that my mother had very bright green eyes. I grew up in the orphanage. I made a lot of friends. Also started a lot of trouble. I started to understand and learn how to do things, how to write things, how to understand things. I'm very interested in runes growing up. I started reading books on runes and traditional arcane thoughts. And when I was of age, and not of age, but old enough to run away, about 14, I put a blade into our patron and took off tonight. So I should say she was a bitch, so. I didn't just stab this sweet old woman or anything. She was like, a cat. So. Yeah. Anyway, so I ran off and then I went with a group of people and then ended up killing them and with another group and killed them as well. But at the age of 23, I killed probably 14 different people that I tried to run with and not really been a fan of. So it's a year. It's a year's time. But I met this young, well, not young, but younger human who spoke of tranquility and beauty. Said he had some other friends that did some things with him. So I ended up with him, his Navi Cohen. Worshipper Bama, wonderful cleric, he knew how to handle quite well. He introduced me to a rather large human by the name of Francis. He also ran with this dragonborn, red dragonborn woman named Serana. Sorry, Brilla, dragonborn. Serana was actually ASMR. She had long black hair and bright yellow eyes. Also, someone you might know to an extent, there was Atlas. If you not know who Atlas is, neither of you two would know.
I did.
Right, so Atlas, probably the best, if not the second best mage in Alvastia. At the time, he wasn't necessarily so great. He was learning at the time. He's a high elf with black hair, green eyes. He and Serana were madly in love. It distracted him a lot from his studies, and he stopped just doing what he understood, not what he would eventually learn to do. And then there was one and only Intra, Black Tabaxi. He was, like, you're beautiful there, Vulcan, but Intra, that's where my heart belonged. And then Brilla and Francis, David, and Davi was the old man that didn't really involved sexually with anyone. Kind of a loser. But,
True.
over time, all of us sort of became a tighter unit than a group of people that knew each other, and the name the Sellsword family. Eventually, Francis and Brilla had 2 children, and I had 3 children. Jentra and I never did that. We fought for the Empire, against the Empire, fought for coin. We took any job we could. And, a lot of what we did, none of us had ever been down here in this community. We were unfamiliar. But what we did was purely in the interest of bettering the world around us. Then, King Hasatan slaughtered those 12 from the Underdark. Few that had been banned and came back, and he's killed them. Anna and I and Atlas all stood against that. Thought it was wrong. Avi and Gentra were unchanged. They wanted to stay true to just the coin. Brilla and Francis were very much upset that anyone would question them of the wise king. We got into a large fight amongst all of us, in which Brilla put a sword through Anna's throat. It was teleported away to be seen again by anyone but me. Gentra took her longsword and put my arm in my eye. I had to put my blade into Brilla, but at the end of it, we all stood our separate ways. I believe Brilla and Francis bought a successful tavern in Orvin just outside of the King's place called the King's Hall. I understand she's matron and he sits guard in the back. You've ever been there? Have any of you ever been to King's Hall?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's a really large human, probably 6.5 feet tall, almost 6.5 feet across.
We rolled for a little bit.
Right? He probably wouldn't. Brilla, of course, she's the racist behind the counter. Buried Serana. Still had to stick up for his kids or something, I'm not sure. But eventually he and I caught back up. As Gentra, Avi went and made his temple, and Gentra followed, and then eventually, from what I understand, vanished from all distance. Atlas and I started up, I came up with an idea to take down the king for what he'd done. The only 2 that were really committed to truly fighting justice and what was right. And just felt very alone. We developed the name Forgotten Below. I knew that I couldn't stay for long. I was getting old, and Atlas doesn't really age like the rest of us, or the rest of us in the group did. I gave him what I could, but I'd send people his way as soon as I found people that were worthy of something. He pledged to do the same if he ever felt he could do so. Clearly, he felt he could with you, Lily. And of course, Dyrr and Rauva, you both already know. In that time, Atlas utilized a few before this group here. Sent a few resources. He hired a few stonemasons to come down and get some work done. And he solidified the Underdark once I met Tarzan. I left a few times since then until I went out one time and nearly lost it all up to an owl bear in the woods and realized I don't really want for adventuring anymore. Sometimes you just get old and you have to pass it on to someone else. My time here, the things that have remained constant is King Hasatan is still an asshole. I learned to do this. Picked up some extra skills. Also learned to do things like this, and he pulls out his sword. Well, what he really does is he sucks his arm into his body and sends it back out. And he takes the sword to your chest, slashes a few times in the center of it, and you will watch this bright black rune appear on his chest, sink into his body, and a whole like black dust covers his whole body. And he looks the same. Your armor class increases by 2 for 8 hours.
Sweet.
To do things with runes that I've never seen done before. Sort of what I do. That's what I've done. I understand. I hadn't thought of that. He sucks the sword back in his body and sends it back out. But I understand, King Lungst, what I need to tell you the story. Explain that we all have differing opinions, but sometimes, at least in his point of view, staying true and staying quiet is the only way. For me, I think the story should inspire you to want to do more for justice. It's who we are. We've done. Believe it or not, Atlas might ask him about it. I don't know if he's ever told you about any of us. But I'm wanted in every dominion. I mean, that dominion, small confederacy of Innistrad, run by Franz, the Orc King.
It seems like you've killed a lot of people that you wanted in all those places.
Oh, I've stopped counting somewhere around 2046. It's the number, not the year.
Oh yeah.
We're not that far in years.
It's,
2046 was Count Serana. Because it was sort of my arguing that started the fight that led to her death. I stopped counting then when I realized I didn't really want to be proud of that number anymore. That's who I am. I don't know where you stand. You have the last name of Ta. I know for a fact related to Atlan.
Yes, he's actually my uncle.
I assume because if
And-
you were his son, then you'd be Bravis.
And oddly enough, he's actually the reason I'm here with all of these other.
Was that so? So you're an arc.
Everybody keeps calling me that, but I don't really stand on the same line as my uncle anymore.
I figure so, because otherwise, whenever I told you that we killed people because we didn't like what he did to kill people, then probably would have pulled the sword.
Your secret is safe with me. All the thousands of people you've killed.
No, it's not really a secret. I'm very, very thankful.
Well,
Very wanted.
your location is safe with me.
I don't even know if that's a secret, to be honest. I mean, everyone they've ever sent to try to get me is not come back. Right, so, anyways, I have relationships across the Empire. And if there's anything I can do to help advise you, I'd be happy to do so. I mean, I can't advise you on being a family or a unit anymore. You all seem well united, it seems, maybe.
I guess we're all here for a common cause now.
What? You got the narc. So.
That's the. Okay, well, the narc will say it that the king is an asshole.
Oh, all right.
Against the Hassani unit.
They've just got anything to see the king proud.
Or if you could age. You can. With the crown, anyways. You're looking at me like you didn't know that.
It works for the motherfucker. Well, I didn't tell us much.
He wears the crown of youth. That's how he's tells. Well, if that for him it didn't exist when his father died. But he's dead. So. No. First of all, second generation tiefling. Well, that's true. His father came through the portal, the volcano, and radio. He's the only one of his family, other than his son, to ever be born. He, meaning his life expectancy at this point was 500 years. He's been alive for nearly 700. Maybe even just over at this point. I'm a bit older, remember those things. But he found that crown around the age of a human was considered to be about 30. As long as he wears the crown for at least an hour a day, and he lives another day without aging. If the crown be removed for longer than a week, it would probably age very rapidly. But never takes it off. I understand he's speaking. He knows exactly how long he could have without it. It would be fine at this point.
Interactions I've actually had with the king, he's always had it on, so and always has people guarding him even while sleeping.
He's very smart about it. See, that is an item that was written about in books. It's an item that we believe Krantz. Those of you that don't know, Krantz was the god of humanity. He created everything we walk across, or at least he doesn't know that it. I believe that he created it in hopes that one day the true king of Albashi would rise and put it on and rise to become the 14th deity. Instead, and Yazatan thought that he was to be first, a true devil, I suppose. That didn't name those clothings. He hired us for a while to go find it. He never did. I understand your uncle is the one that located it. So, is there anything else you all want to know about me or what I might know in my life or seen? By the way, I'm 73, so he's a reference to my age. Old.
Earlier you said that
Mhm.
last left with his children.
That's what I assumed. I don't know.
You know, like the names of his children?
Oh, him and Joanna kept that very private. She stayed with her parents most of the time.
Was unaware that that was that.
All of a sudden, never had some.
Well,
They thought it was useless.
I mean, as I said in the beginning, he gave everything to her. And it did take away from his ability. He was definitely weaker. Not necessarily weaker, but he didn't believe he was strong as he could be.
I definitely mentioned that before.
Remember, I talked to him after she passed. He just said that he delivered her body back to her parents, and that's whenever we buried her. I wasn't abandoning the children or anything like that. Who knows? For all we know, he still sees them. He has them somewhere. And he ever spent 24 hours with them. Theron looks around. Well, I guess spent that long with him. I often talked about how he knew he was weaker with her. It's between me and Francis and Dobby. But that he felt like it was worth it for all the things that she could give him. He said that books made him glad, but they never made him happy. He introduced him to other feelings. But I know that the minute she died, he left.
Seems like he had some sort of plan. It seems like he knew very clearly what he was about to do. Left immediately.
So
I
he
don't know this person, but
seemed really broken, I know that. But it had been decades before she. I did spend 24 hours with her. Like nice Vulcan. Jennifer was my girl.
Met her.
Why?
She's in the traveling tinker. Traveling tinker tavern.
I guess that what?
She said she knew you, but didn't elaborate.
What you said you knew me?
Did she? No.
Oh, right, of course not.
Seemed forlorn.
Last thing she said to me was, "Go to hell!" when she cut my arm off and slashed my eye.
That's hot.
I'm going to how he just went to a mountain.
I know, old Frick, it sounds like you need to seek her out.
I just had an angel walk in my home, so
I appreciate it, but you made it sound like you're a big, strong man, but you sound like a pussy while she's out there. Like what? 74, 73? Not much time.
I think I'll take the crown and wear it myself.
Good. I need a little bit of help with that, I think.
Go reunite the band minus.
And the racist, probably.
Oh, yeah.
You might as well talk them.
People can change.
You said that you talked to him after that.
You were spoken to someone who's dead.
I talked to my goddess, but not like
I mean, maybe you've spoken to someone who's dead.
Is it a weird thing to say?
That's what you're saying. Like, I mean, he came to me in a few dreams and we spoke, and
I've spoken to the dead.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that nobody knew about.
yeah, so I mean, we spoke in the dreams, and he told me that he'd been killed and was sending one to find me. And I said, why would you do that? You should not do that. And then I said, why not? And I said, send him to Atlas. That makes so much more sense. He actually does things, and I'm old and dying and decrepit. He's like, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get this taken care of. It wasn't my dying thought was you. I'm sorry it wasn't someone else. And
no, that
I just sort of said, yeah, I know.
does sound like him.
He was in love with me. Well, he's a priest, so maybe not. I don't know. What is Ama's view on that kind of stuff?
Never beautiful work.
He wasn't to me. Speaking of deities, are any of you divine or like a deity? I'm assuming you are. You don't have to clarify. You're pink, so I can tell.
I mean,
Right? Who?
I'll need sick.
Sorry, I should say I met 6 of the 13 gods, so
I'll need sick.
not him.
My deity is a hexblade.
Oh, well, no. Look who that is. That's not a deity. That's the chill. Holy Lot, what about you? You have a god?
Yes, nice.
Got it.
Yrlakk out here worshipping freaking mullet.
What do you check Canada?
Basically.
France? France. All right. Happens to be my deity as well. Rauva?
I've spoken to Thyron a few times.
Met her a few times.
She says I need to go see her soon.
Any of you heard of the deity Shabari?
She wants to eat my brain.
We've met her. She hates us.
She's been following us.
She wants to kill us.
And you know, her killing Amma then. Many believe that Amma killed her, but history books get things wrong sometimes.
I'm confused. I thought Alma was Pinky's.
Well, Amma is, but Shabari was once on the Council of the Divine. And then her and her husband, Kroll, became obsessed with power and knowledge, and she was hungry. She was on the Divine Council for the Arcane, and then she went off and got crazy. And so her power became too much. The council banished her. This is far before me. This is like 850 or more years ago. And then, actually, to be precise, it was around 150 pre-crack. So, and then after they banished her, and she killed Kroll, murdered him, ate his body or something like that. He went off and thought she was probably dead somewhere, Turns out she was just tricking Amma into coming up to the forests. She went crazy on Amma, completely freaking backshit on her. Amma was killed and then came back as a fey deity and supposedly squashed the hag. In actuality, the hag essentially just used counterspell. Rebound itself, destroyed Fey Amma, absorbed her physical body, putting Amma full time into the fight.
I'm totally not expecting that. I'm sorry. That just it's counterspell. Like sorry.
Again.
Like sorry, man. You couldn't do shit to me.
Essentially,
Like,
Amma beat her to a pulp, and then Amma was like, power, word, kill. And then Shamari's like, counterspell! And then, because she was a divine point, that when she uses counterspell, she can rebound the spell. And Amma was
Very much did. That's terrible.
That
Damn.
that's what Thyron told me, anyways.
that was a pretty good impression of her, honestly.
Damn, your deity fucking sucks.
But the thing is,
That's too bad. I mean, I'll break up twice.
Shari then went dark for a while, and Thyron did sort of suppress her. Thyron was never on the Divine Council, but she was an assistant to the Divine Council. She was able to build an arcane prison and lock her deep into it. And then Krantz said that the Divine Council should start saying that Amma defeated Shivari, so there wouldn't be any negative thoughts on Amma. And one of Krantz's more foolish decisions, to be honest with you. Thyron would be a lot cooler if everybody knew that she beat Shivari the first time. Sort of, not really beat her, but locked her away. Yeah, pretty much it.
Louis, mama.
But then, of course, in Thyron locking that arcane prison, she also caused, well, all the hell we experience now. She caused the crack.
I knew it.
She caused the portal to open, breaking the tieflings, leading to the slaughter of all of the orcs. Yeah, I guess it's kind of maybe that's why Krantz decided not to make Thyron a good guy,
Fire.
because then all the deities that were already gone, that had gone on to live their new life in the Fae, were severed from the world, and all but no longer able to be controlled and kept safe by the deities, and now the ones that are left are the ones that walk. So Thyron, remnants of Hindsack. Supposedly Krantz is still alive somewhere, but from what I understand, Fran Hasatan took his fucking head off, so who knows about that? He's God Killer. Anyways, yeah, that's you all know those things, I'm sure. Seasoned adventurers like yourselves.
You don't hear about this in the fighting pits very often, so this is a lot of news to me.
Well,
We've been doing this a few months.
sure, the follower of Amma would know, and the follower of Thyron.
Big money.
No.
Dyrr never mentioned any of that to me.
When I talked to Alma, she told me that she thought she killed Shivari. Not that she was killed by her. So,
Well, thanks, answer the mention.
This though, you see a flash of light fly out of your hands, and then nothing else ever again. Shibari's surely still out there. Oh wait, you said she tried to kill you. Oh, she's back then.
She's tried to kill us like at least 2 times.
Twice in the last 3 months?
Yep. Both in a dungeon. She almost ate me.
And does Liz know about this?
yeah, but he doesn't really seem that concerned about it until she's like right there.
You don't trust Atlas very much. Why? Because Atlas a little fucker?
Because he's so fucky.
Have you ever done anything negative to any of you? What?
He broke our hearts.
Other than lie to you, what have he done? What was negative? Right. What has he done that was positive? Has he ever saved your arses?
Yeah, like Shivari was gonna eat everyone.
Has he ever made sure you were comfortable or safe or anything?
Yeah, I guess so.
So maybe don't be such a bunch of assholes.
He's an asshole too, though.
Everyone has their secrets. Because I'm an asshole. Just because I'm an asshole doesn't mean that, I want everyone to, think less of me. I still would die for, well,
Oh, wow.
I would die for the king.
Would you know?
King Lungs, that is.
Oh, okay. That's
Why would you need something you
I'm gonna say that I was like seriously confused for a
You're like, let me kill you. Like. Any other questions or burning desires feel like I feel like I just like I think I'm a lore keeper or something. Like I'm dropping it on you all. Like
Well, I appreciate.
seems like you all just have been fed nothing but spoon-fed lies and things.
Everyone lies.
I'm usually pretty freaking honest.
What that's a lie. I trust you. I was just I like suspense and stuff, you know.
Unlike Grandpa here, I said that. That's right. I don't have dementia, Alzheimer's, fuck brain. So
Hey, no need to attack old defensive man, okay?
I'm an old man.
Hey, look here, you old sack of poop. I need you to shut up. By the way, who are you?
Your son.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. No wonder why you look dashingly handsome. That explains a lot. Hi, son. How are you doing?
Well, Dad, I haven't seen you in 47 years, so
Really?
not since you ran off with the milkmaid.
I ran with the milkman?
You left me and poor Mom alone.
Huh. No wonder why your mother was mad with me.
My 14 brothers.
How many kids? Did I not protect myself?
Do you want to move around for entertainment, or
We just kind of feel bad for him.
is like a ward of the state put on you or something? Or
Hey, son. Do you want to meet your other sister? Or brother? What? You know what, brother? There's Charles. Say hi.
that's a female marionette.
Well, here, take it. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi there.
My
This
kids.
little kid.
I did not teach you to do incest. Bring me your sister back. Wait, can you bring it to life?
No, I don't do magic.
Damn it. Okay.
Just runes.
Yeah.
He kind of just follows us, and if he dies in the line of battle,
You want me with my brain injury? Or whatever curse I have on me?
Never thought of this either.
Can you? I'll pay you some gold.
No.
I'll give you pastries.
I think
Services for service.
listen. Take 4 hours to be quiet and think within yourself.
I don't know what that would accomplish.
Try it.
Let's check.
Right, now that we've got that out of the way. Other questions from anyone? Keep your hand up. You don't have to raise your hand. You can just speak.
Oh, I'm scratching myself. Scratch my forehead.
He's like raising his hand. He's like, yeah, I gotta. It's burning. It's eating me alive. Well, this has been fun. Oh, I forgot about the tea. And he gets him and walks to the other room.
Super steeped tea.
It's just
Strong as hell.
straight bitter.
You all left him for a few minutes and you should talk amongst yourselves about it.
That automation work on his arm is something else. I'll tell you what. I bet you've got to pay top dollar to get something like that done. Maybe one day when I make a name for myself, I can come back.
Yeah, I've not even seen prosthetics like that on rich nobles in the empire.
Yeah, nothing in the empire could come close to that. They're all about quantity. They're all about quantity over quality.
That's very true.
I've seen tons of that. Automation. However you
Automation.
With patience.
Yes. Nothing quite to that level.
why does it feel like we're in an ad right now promoting this art?
Can Chuck write a note to someone since he's been quiet? Gives it to Vulcan right there.
PP.
And it basically says, should we steal the arm?
Chuck, that's a wonderful idea, but I feel like this is not the kind of guy we want to fuck with. There's no way for me to know this room isn't fucking explosive that can go off at any moment.
All right, then fine. Chuck writes another note to you and says, fine. And then he pouts for a little bit.
Stop being Rocket Raccoon.
Okay. You walk in and he's like, he now has like this frilly half apron on. And he's setting this pot of tea with like 7 cups down. Turn to, oh, Rauva. Atlas? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Let me get this.
Sure.
Retro 2024.
He's being honest.
You know he's not.
No, he's a traveler and has.
No, I mean he's not. I don't.
As far as I know, he is. If he wasn't half of Serrano, we're definitely like elvish, celestial combined.
There's just something off about him. He had a very private conversation with me about keeping my suspicions low.
Did he say anything else?
Kind of like, don't fuck with me and I won't fuck with you.
Well, he's a man of his word.
Just, was just so curious still because I want to know who I'm learning from that I can trust in.
You're training with him. Just give him about psionics in your next meeting.
You said you didn't know anything about it.
Ask him again until I told you to ask him. He might get something out of him then. Till we take the teats.
Oh, yeah.
He walks in with his like pink and purple frilly half apron and the rest of his clothes still ragged and gross. Like your grandma's tablecloth. It has like the lace on the edges. Yeah, that's what this apron is. Hold on, everyone. See you then.
You know, my dad may have died twice, but at least she didn't unleash a plague of me onto the world.
Look, Siren is not a bad person. She just. It was either. I mean, Shivari wasn't her strongest. Shivari was at a point that she could have easily wiped out all of human existence. So lock her away, unleash hell, or leave her alive and be the reason that everyone dies. So,
Yeah.
It was definitely the lesser of the two evils.
and plus, now we get to hang out with you. And you're just so lovely.
Thank you.
Now,
Do you have cows where you come from? Like bulls?
Yes, me.
Yeah, pinky. Like hell, like hell cows, like tinkling cows.
I've never been to hell,
Oh,
but I'm gonna be completely honest.
well, it's funny if like they were called like beeflings.
There be things.
we'll have to wait and find out. I guess now you guys can go to Viridia to go through the portal. You can better ask King Hasatan.
Okay, let me call him up quick. Ring your motherfucker.
Well,
No luck.
and he hands out the tea to all of you. It is still good.
That quality tea.
Yeah, it's pretty good tea. And then you all hear a faint knock at the door. And Over looks at the clock. I'm not really expecting. Looks back for another 30 minutes or so. And he gets it to open it, and we'll pick up there next time. Which for us will be in a few minutes. To everyone who's joining us through this podcast, wherever that might be, thank you for joining us. We hope you had fun, and we'll see you guys next time we venture into Albastia.